Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and today we are talking about if Workhorse gets the USPS contract, how high will the stock price go? Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like if you enjoy these videos, comment down below your thoughts on Workhorse, or if you have any questions, and without further ado, let's jump into today's articles. In case you are new, let me quickly fill you in on Workhorse. So Workhorse Group is an electric vehicle company that makes EVs and drones for last mile deliveries. Currently, Workhorse stock is exploding because they can potentially win a $6 billion contract with the United States Postal Service, and the winner will be announced at the end of the USPS fiscal year, which is September 30th, and if it gets delayed further for some reason, the winner will be known by the end of the calendar year when production begins. Today we are assuming Workhorse wins the contract, so we are going to look over and view what financial analysts are saying about how high Workhorse's stock will rise in the short term and long run terms. In this graph, 5 high-end analysts from Wall Street give their calculations based upon Workhorse's current financial standings and potential. 4 of the 5 say that Workhorse is a good buy, and 1 of the 5 simply says to hold Workhorse stock. The average price target for Workhorse, according to these analysts, is $25.50, which is more than a 16.5% drop from where WKHS Stock stands currently on September 20th. To me, I would just average their high-end price and their low-end price target to get $26.50, but that is still a pretty conservative price estimate. On the high end of Workhorse's stock, the analysts deem that WKHS is forecasted to stabilize around $33, and I understand where they are getting this estimate from because they anticipate that once the USPS contract winner is announced, that the Workhorse stock price will rise rapidly, and then it will top off just to fall back down and then stabilize around the $33 mark. Although my personal price estimate of Workhorse stock is set at a higher price, but we will get into that later. But if Workhorse does not get the contract, we will see the reverse, where WKHS stock will fall, bounce back up a little, and then stabilize. But let's all hope that is not the case. Now let's jump over to another article to see what those analysts predict for Workhorse stock in the upcoming future. In this article, I want to first highlight the daily percentage change, the 52-week range of Workhorse's high and low, and the year-to-date increase. Workhorse has been increasing daily around 2%, which is providing us very good and steady stock growth. The 52-week low, according to this article, is $1.32, but today it was $31.45, which is around a 900% increase. At the time of this voice recording, the stock is around $31.07, which is higher than the $30.67 in this article. There are 4 analysts in this article offering another 12-month forecast for Workhorse. The low and high price targets are the same as the last article we looked at, but the average is lower than last time, coming in at only $24.50. This will most likely change after the initial hype of Workhorse winning the USPS contract wears off, which will cause the stock to sell off, and then it will rally slightly to stabilize around one of these price predictions, according to these analysts. If you think these analysts' Workhorse predictions are conservative, you would be very right, because Hyliion stock is already around the $50 mark. Let's take a deeper look at Workhorse's earning and sales forecasts. Earnings per share is down 10 cents in this quarter, but sales look promising of 2.3 million. I am quickly going to show you how to read these graphs, and don't worry, they are very easy to understand. Look to the upper right of your screen at the reported earnings graph. The gray bar is the range from lowest to highest, the blue dotted line is the expected result in the future, and the solid blue line is the actual result that was recorded. Now look to the lower left of your screen and we can see that the expected sales for quarter 3 and 4 have much higher ranges than the previous quarters, so the outlook looks very good for investors. Switching over to this short-term Workhorse share price forecast for the weeks to come looks very promising, but this growth is mostly because of the United States Postal Service contract. Clearly, the excitement for the upcoming announcement of the winner of the USPS contract is pushing this stock higher and higher. Over here on the right, we see the long-term graph, which is set to hit a $50 or higher price point before turning bearish and then restabilizing at old price point highs. As a reminder, some of these price predictions are setting price targets based upon Workhorse's current standings, while others are including them as one of the USPS contract winners like myself, and some others are predicting long-term price targets if Workhorse loses the contract and the stock drops like a rock. My current prediction, which is always subject to change based upon new information, thinks that Workhorse will hit over $50 right after the USPS contract winners are announced. Then it will drop down after the excitement to stabilize in the $35 to $37 range as my conservative prediction. Overall, the general market is bullish on Workhorse stock, thinking that they are a shoe-in to get the USPS contract. Let's take this as a good sign, because if people keep buying Workhorse stock, the price will continually rise, which just makes us as investors better off, especially if we are holding it. The analysts and I have very similar predictions for the Workhorse stock price, except their short-term price is actually my long-term price after the hype lowers, but overall we are in agreement with a $34 to $35 low end and over a $37 high-end price target. Now, I am not going to teach you all how to read these graphs or talk about resistance levels, pivot points, support levels, and other trading targets. I am just presenting this information to you if you already know how to read these graphs, but I will, however, sum these graphs up for you very simply. The top graph has a positive slope, which is good, the middle one has a U-shape, which is mostly positive, and the last graph we see a slight hiccup, but nothing too much to worry about. Overall, it is still a very good sign. The best part about WKHS that gets me the most excited is Workhorse's forecasted earnings growth. This provides us a future perspective to those of us who want to keep the stock as a part of our portfolios for the long run without trading much of it during these times of high volatility and growth. Workhorse is negative in this department, but as you see in time, the stock will blossom into a very lucrative investment. Certain AI computer bots say that currently Workhorse is going on a negative spiral, so Workhorse should not be kept in a portfolio and that we as investors should look for other projects to invest in. My response to bot analyzing stocks based off only numbers is that currently these bots are very bad at judging intangible assets and future potential for companies. The robot may not know that Workhorse is competing for a $6 billion contract, and if we as investors have an optimal trading strategy, we will come out on top. As a side note, if Workhorse does not land the contract, it is possible for the stock to drop below $23, so trade at your own risk. That's all I have for you all today. I'll see you all in the next YT video.
Money.